and Gentlemen as well as they went over the hills and far away, over the hills and o'er the main. Defenders Portugal and Spain, with none commands and will obey, over the hills and far away.
Prepared in their country's just cause, their king to avenge and support all his laws. As fierce as the tiger, as swift as the roe, the British light infantry rush on their foe. No rebels unnumbered oppose their career, their hearts are undaunted, they're strangers to fear. No obstacles hinder, relentless they go, and death and destruction attend every blow. The alarm of the drum and the cannon's loud roar, the musket's quick flash but inflames them the more. No dangers dismay, for they fear no control, but glory and conquest inspires every soul. Whenever the foe stands arranged in their sight. With ardor impatient they pant for the fight. Rout, havoc, confusion they spread through the field, and rebellion and treason are forced to yield. talk about your Lancers or your Irish Fusiliers, the Aberdeen Militias or the Queen's Own Volunteers, or any other regiment that's flying for a war. Come give to me the tartan of the Gallant Forty Taw. And strolling through the green fields on the summer's day, watching all the country girls a working at the hay. I really was delighted and he stole me heart to war when I saw him in the tartan of the Gallant Forty Taw. Oh, I never will forget the day his regiment marched past. The pipe they played a lively tune, but my heart was aghast. He turned around and smiled farewell, and then from far away he waved to me the tartan of the Gallant Forty Taw. And strolling through the green field on the summer's day, watching all the country girls a working at the hay. I really was delighted and he stole me heart to war when I saw him in the tartan of the Gallant Forty Taw. Once again I heard the music of the pipers from the farm. They tramped and tramped their weary men returning from the war. And as they nearer drew I brushed a woeful tear awa to see my bonny laddie in the Gallant Forty Taw. I strolling through the green field on the summer's day, watching all the country girls a working at the hay. I really was delighted and he stole me heart to war when I saw him in the tartan of the Gallant Forty Taw. And strolling through the green field on the summer's day, watching all the country girls a working at the hay. I really was delighted and he stole me heart to war when I saw him in the tartan of the Gallant Forty Taw.